looks like a big one, maybe an eel. I'll let him go a little bit. I think he might have lodged himself underneath a log or a rock. I might change angles, move over this way a little bit, I might be able to pull him around. But they'll cut you through to the bone. He's not a bad size.
Oh, muddy, muddy, muddy. Beautiful. Whoa, he's a beauty. Alright, I'll try and lock up those front arms so he can't bite me. Grab those back legs. And look at that. Another bit of Central Coast bush tucker. So I was saying a little bit earlier that you know, it'd be great to see what resources are around here on the Central Coast. So what do we got today? We've got some freshwater bass, we got one, and an eel, and this beautiful sized muddy. He's excellent. Have a good feed tonight. Let's take him home, chuck him in the bag. Right, here we are up at Woy Road, just up near Kariong on the Central Coast, not far from Gosford. And we're going up to check out the controversial hieroglyphs. They've been up here for a long time, possibly thousands of years. Why I say controversial is some people believe they were put up here by an old fella in national parks. A couple of national park rangers said that they were up here and they saw an old fella up here with a chisel and confiscated his chisels. So anyway, there's an old story about two Egyptian brothers that came out here. I was told this by a local Aboriginal man, a Gamilaroi man, who they're from further inland, right through to Queensland, but he lives here now. And he told me a story that he learned off a really old white fella back in the day. The two brothers came out here, all the way from Egypt, and they ended up basically shipwrecked here in Woy in the waterways here. Now what happened apparently was one of the fellas got bitten by a snake and died. Oh, Benson, he's getting a bit excited. Come here, boy. Come here. That one away. And got bitten by a snake and died. And apparently the other fella lived his life out with the local Kariong or Darkinjung people, some of the local tribes in this area. Now if we can get a shot out the window, there's a lot of Aboriginal sites and stuff around here. They're about to sell 56 hectares of property up here. Good on you, LJ Hooker. But this was one of the last wildlife corridors in the Gosford region for the eastern grey kangaroo. Okay, they just put a housing estate over here about 8 or so years ago, and that was the last of the eastern grey kangaroos that I saw in this area. So we've got some of the world's richest engraving sites here, ancient engraving sites. I mean, if they're going to build a shopping complex, a housing development or something like that over something like Stonehenge, do you reckon there'd be a public outcry? Yes, there would be. Okay, they sell this land up like it's nothing, you know, and there's incredible Aboriginal sites. I won't talk about the ones that I know about around here, okay, and I won't show you where they are either, but I will take you today to the hieroglyphs. Let's go, Benson. As I sit here with my young mate Dylan under this huge for sale sign, watching the cars buzz past on Woy Road, I recall my childhood. I pretty much grew up in these mountains and I've seen a lot of changes. I remember only 15 years ago seeing decent sized mobs of kangaroos relaxing in the shade up here, and you may have even seen the occasional koala. Not anymore, I'm afraid. What'll become of all the threatened flora and fauna species that haven't already been devastated by bushfires or development? What about the amazing and important engraving sites? Half of my family moved over here from Egypt in the 50s, and the other half is from here, so I have a particular interest in the conservation of this site. Anyway, let's go see what bush tucker we can find on the way to the Heiroglyphs. Oh, we found a little stylidium or trigger plant here. It's an awesome time of year, around mid-November. I should make a note of that. Got this little trigger plant here. And what it's got like a little pollen sac at the back here. And what happens when an insect flies and bounces in the middle, hopefully it'll work for me. It should swing up and knock the insect on the head. Then the insect goes to the next plant and it pollinates. Let's see if it works here. There you go. So that would have donked him on the head and on the abdomen, on the back of the legs. And he'd go and pollinate another plant. As I walk the dirt road to the Heiroglyphs, I feel like I'm in a bush shopping centre. A bit like a bush Woolies, I suppose. I've even got my eco bush tucker bag handy. Oh, look, only difference is you don't have to pay for this, and I reckon it's much better for you. Oh, it's beautiful. It's got fruit all over it as well. We've got the lemon-scented tea tree here first, which is not what I was excited about. It's still pretty good stuff. It's good if you've got a cold. The first settlers used to make a tea from this leptospermum, and Captain Cook had a cup of tea out of this, and this is how it got the name tea tree. You've got leptospermum here, and you've got melaleuca, which is the other tea tree you get around here. But a beautiful, strong lemon scent, but if you drink too much of this tea, it'll actually give you stomach cramps, pretty bad. Feels like really, really bad indigestion. Okay, but it's not a bad tea. I'd have it in really, really small amounts, just as a bit of flavouring. Okay, but up here we have got the Smilax glycophylla, or the local Aboriginal name Wadabutta, or just native sarsaparilla. And we've got these beautiful fruits here, and I won't take them all. I'll just take some of these off. We might chuck some of these in the tucker bag, eh, Dylan?
Yep.
I'm going to talk tomorrow at a behavioural school for boys. I like to do that sort of thing. Hopefully Dylan won't be there in the near future. You've been getting in a bit of trouble at school, have you, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, that's alright. We'll get past that. What do you reckon, getting out in the bush is a good thing if you've been getting in a bit of trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so you can use, this is actually closely related, this Smilax, to the Jamaican sarsaparilla, which has medicinal roots. I know about a few of the medicinal uses around here, but I'm not going to go into them today. That comes down to protocols. I've got to run that by my old Uncle Seti, the Gamilaroi man as well. Okay, what I can and what I can't tell you. Okay, but what I will tell you, so they've got a very sweet leaf, and I don't like to just throw botanical names out there. Okay, Glycophylla, the second part of the botanical name, Smilax glycophylla, means sweet leaf. Okay, and it's got a very sweet leaf. Probably the younger leaves are a bit more palatable, and they're followed by a bit of a sharp, even bitter taste if you're not used to it. You might just grab a little bit more of that fruit. Have you tried the fruit before, Dylan?
Yep.
Here's the fruit. Tastes pretty much like the leaves. And I'll keep those seeds. I'll plant them next to my house. Alright, I just found these beautiful broadleaf geebungs from the Persoonia genus, named after Christian Heinrich Persson, who was a Dutch botanist who was best known for his work on fungi, so work that one out. The most identifying characteristic, because out of the 42 species, most of the plants look a little different. Okay, the most identifying characteristic is this little point on the tip. All geebungs have got that, unless it gets knocked off. But if you squeeze out this flesh on the inside, okay, it's mainly seed. It's got a really nice flavour, slightly nutty. Even tastes a little bit like a custard apple. Good tucker. So here's the tree just behind us here. You can see these little goldy yellow flowers that look a little bit like bananas. A characteristic bark, which should help because you don't get many other things around here with this sort of bark. Is a black flaky bark with a nice red on the inside there. But these aren't only food. They're also medicine. These were used to treat typhoid fever and golden staph infections effectively. I can't tell you the exact traditional use because I did learn that one, but it's another one that the pharmaceutical companies jumped on top of and used. Here I'm checking to see if this attractive little wild lily has an edible yam or tuber. No luck this time. A lot of my experience comes from trial and error. In saying that, I strongly advise against sampling unidentified plants in the bush, as some are deadly. I cover the ground back up and make sure that I leave some mulch. Got a bit of stringy bark here, one of our 550 different species of gum trees, which are broken up into eucalyptus, corymbia and angophora. Okay, just going to show you how to make a bit of rope. Comes in pretty handy at times. Okay, you loop it like so, hold it, get that little twist in it there, turn it side on, twist it, turn it, hold it, twist it, turn it, hold it, so on and so forth. On its own, it's not that strong at all, but when you do this technique, it actually really becomes quite strong. Actually lets off a really beautiful smell and just tidies up your rope a little bit. I'm a pretty strong fella. I can't break that. Super strong. When the Grevillea buxifolia is in flower, it's a fair sign that we're entering the yabby or freshwater crayfish season. What are you doing down there, Benson? A little crazy attack. He's kicking me in the back of the leg. Not getting enough attention maybe. What I've got here is a Acacia suaveolens, or sweet scented wattle. And this time of year, again around the mid-November, these are ready to eat. When they're green, they're really quite poisonous. Okay, but if you get them at this stage, they're really quite edible. And there's plenty of tucker on here. Got to make sure you don't spill them as they come down. And after half an hour of gathering, you get quite a bit. There's quite a few things in seed at the moment. It's got grains. You've got quite a few acacias. Got the Acacia linifolia. You've got the Sydney golden wattle, which is another one around here, Acacia longifolia, which when it gets to this stage, the seeds are edible as well. Plenty of other stuff we've got. So, needle bush here with its fruit or nuts that look a little bit like a snail, doesn't it? When they get about a third bigger than that, you can chuck them in the fire just like you might do a pippy, and they open up and there's two little wind-borne seeds on the inside, little wings on them, and you can chew on those. But yeah, if we had half an hour of gathering, we'd have quite a bit of tucker from this. Tastes just like sunflower seeds. Beautiful taste.